Okay, we're going to start in 4 minutes. 4 minutes and counting. So if you want to take a seat, if you're up front, be ready to go.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and Academy staff. I'm David Whittam. I'm the Director of Law Enforcement Training, and it's my distinct honor to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for the Allen Hancock College Law Enforcement Academy Class 119. Welcome you here today for this event at the Public Safety Training Complex. It has been a challenge to bring it to this point, but we are here now. Today's graduates have just completed 751 hours of intense training in 85 days. During this time, they have been challenged mentally, physically, and emotionally. They have overcome every obstacle and passed every test, and not only survived, but this class has excelled. And now, if everyone would kindly stand and direct your attention to the rear of the building, we will welcome Class 119 as they come and enter.
Well, now we get them out of the cars again.
Well, if the families stay together. Please remain standing for the presentation of the colors, national anthem, and invocation. Please join me in welcoming Deputy Garrett Gish of Class 119 and Neil Lemaire, LE Coordinator of the singing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order! On!
Thank you, Deputy Garrett and Mr. Lemaire. For today's graduation celebration, it's my pleasure to introduce our college superintendent, president. We'll have our invocation first, and I'll have Deputy Henry White, Class 119's chaplain, come forward and deliver the invocation.
Good morning. I'd like to invite you all to please bow your heads and join me in a prayer of your own faith. Father God, maker of heaven and earth, we thank you for allowing us to gather here today. We give you thanks for selecting each of us to accept the challenge of this academy and for all the people in our lives who have supported us during our journey in becoming peace officers. Thank you for the academy staff and instructors who have dedicated themselves to our learning, and for the departments who have placed their faith in us and opened doors of opportunity for us to serve. We stand before you, Lord, ready and willing to do your work. As we begin our careers, we ask you for courage to conquer our own fears. We ask for strength of body to protect others and strength of spirit to lead others. We ask for dedication to our job to do it well and dedication to our community to keep it safe. May you use us as either the sword or the shield, and give us compassion for those who need us. And please, Lord, through it all, be by our side. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Deputy White.
Ready! Seat! At ease and adjust.
It is my pleasure to introduce our college superintendent, President Dr. Walters, but before he comes up, I just have a few words. And I want to take us back a couple of months when this crisis started. Dr. Walters had vision and foresight for our college to continue in its mission and teaching and training. And there's no one who is more supportive of public safety than Dr. Walters. He was along with us the entire way, supporting this program going on. And I just want to have a special thanks for him for supporting public safety as we strive in our goal to create public safety employees that serve our community. So it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Kevin Walters, the Superintendent President of Allen Hancock College.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you to the staff here at the Public Safety Training Center for organizing what is we thought wouldn't have happened a couple of months ago to manage to honor our graduates here. On behalf of the College Board of Trustees, who are all socially distancing today, normally they would be here, and also on behalf of our Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Bob Curry, who's in the green car way over there, and Dr. Noe Miranellis, our Vice President of Student Service, who's in the mom van right there. And they say welcome and thank you. Normally at this event, twice a year for our law enforcement graduates and our fire academy graduates, I get to stand here and thank you for being willing to put your life on the line for your community. It's truly an honor that you get to do that. Normally, though, that's sort of an abstract idea as you sit here, but today we know that what you're doing today is putting you and your family in harm's way. It's the great phrase of to give one's life, there's no greater gift than to give one's life in service of your community. So we're honored by your service, and we're grateful that you've chosen to enter into this important profession and that you're here to protect us. We're grateful to the families that are going to support them through that. And today is a great example of when you're out and about in the community, think about what you're saying in the community by your actions. People know that you're an officer. People know that you're a sheriff's deputy. You're never not that thing anymore. 24/7. You're a law enforcement official, and people will recognize you for that and measure you based on how you behave both in your public role and your private role. So on behalf of the college, we're grateful for your service. We wish you well in the future. Good luck.
First time we've done it outdoors like this, and it has turned all my pages. Thank you, Dr. Walters. And I just want to reiterate again, the college administration has been so supportive of our public safety programs going forward, and that's why we're here today. On behalf of Allen Hancock College, Academy staff and recruits, we thank all of our law enforcement chief executives for your ongoing support and commitment to our programs. As our recruits are aware, there have been tremendous amount of preparation and energy involved in the delivery and training of Academy Class 119. The success of this academy would not be possible without the quality, dedication, professionalism of our entire academy staff. Each play a critical role, and I thank them for a job well done. And in particular, I would like to thank Allison Martinez, Ken George, who are our academy coordinators, Robert Reed, our perishable skills coordinator, Neil Lemaire, who is our advanced officer training coordinator, and our support staff, Lisa Hernandez, Derek Miller, Randy McCarty, Kayla Cavaletto, Adrienne Heredia, Ajane Griggs, and Danielle Rivera. Lead Recruit Training Officer John Lenny Hennig, Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office, is our instructional assistant in Key RTO. Thank you, Johnny. Recruit Training Officer is Mike Hollis, and he's a retired Grover Beach police officer. Thank you so much for the training that these recruits have received throughout their class time with Class 119. And now it's my honor to introduce our keynote speaker for today's ceremony, the Chief of Police for the City of Lompoc, Joe Mariani. Help me welcome Chief Mariani.
Thank you, Dave. Good morning. I would like to begin by thanking the Allen Hancock faculty, administrative staff for their efforts and creativity in organizing and planning this ceremony today. I am sure that it was no easy task. It is unfortunate that in our current situation, many graduates will not have the opportunity to participate in a commencement ceremony to acknowledge their success and accomplishments. I would also like to welcome my esteemed colleagues from our local law enforcement agencies, the family and friends who have joined us here today, and last but not least, the members of Recruit Class 119. This is truly a first. It is hard to comprehend that we are living in a time where it is easier to purchase marijuana than it is to purchase toilet paper or hand sanitizer. To say that our world has changed in the last 3 months is no understatement. When these recruits began their training, their vocabulary was limited. They now have familiar terms such as social distancing, sheltering in place, self-isolation, self-monitoring, personal protective equipment, commonly known as PPE, and N95 is not just a number on a bingo board. If you are here today, you're definitely healthy, and thank God for that. And we're also optimistic that the curve will soon be flattening. The pandemic has brought us to the reality that we took many things for granted. Hopefully, we have learned to appreciate each other and to have higher appreciation for all that we have. While many occupations have been put on hold, impacted, revised, restricted, and others are now being performed from remote locations, police work and our mission virtually remains unchanged. Nearly 200 years ago, the father of modern policing, Sir Robert Peel, stated that the police exists to prevent crime and disorder. He also stated that the ability of the police to perform their duties is dependent upon public approval. Those ideals and objectives are as relevant today as they were 200 years ago. At a time when there is great uncertainty, police officers remain as the most visible arm of government and are charged with maintaining order, protecting the vulnerable, and providing service while promoting a sense of calm during a challenging and demanding period. These new officers today have achieved the first milestone of their careers. On average, 1 of 12 candidates complete the hiring process, a process which can be lengthy and demanding. The past 5 months has also tested their will and commitment, and they have been subjected to the rigors of a training program where expectations and standards are high, and rightly so. They have now earned the right to move on to the field training phase where they will be required to apply these fundamental skills that they have learned and ultimately become full-fledged officers and deputies. My hope is that the members of Recruit Class 119 will embrace their mission and their profession to the fullest. My advice to them is to accept that fate and circumstances will often dictate the order of their workday. And to be successful, they should embrace the concept to adapt and overcome. Don't lose your sense of humor. Remain flexible, but never compromise your integrity or your honesty. Make sure that your priorities include your beliefs or your faith, providing for your family, and being true to yourself. Never entertain the notion that reverence for the law is situational, nor consider breaking the law to enforce it. Seek and commit yourself to making a difference and to have a positive impact, and you most certainly will. Congratulations and Godspeed.
Don't leave, Joe. Don't leave. Thank you, Chief Mariani. On behalf of Allen Hancock College's Class 119, we have a plaque and a memento for your keynote speech. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for those inspiring words, Chief Mariani. Class 119, today you graduate ready to face the many challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. You are well-trained, disciplined, educated, and physically fit. You have embraced teamwork, professionalism, and a solid work ethic. The staff and instructors have prepared you well, and now it's up to you. What you choose to become is in your hands. As charged in the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics, be an example to all, and remember the badge is a symbol of public faith. Always remember our core values: honor, duty, integrity, courage, discipline, and compassion. You're about to embark on an exciting and noble career. We are honored to have been a part of your success. To all the family members and friends of the recruits who are gathered here today, thank you for your patience, understanding, and support of these fine men and women. While today we are here to honor all of the graduates, we would like to first briefly recognize the special achievements of individual recruits for Academy Class 119. I would like to ask our Academy Coordinator, Ken George, to make the presentation of special achievements. Ken?
Thank you very much. We got several awards, but the first one is the one given out by the Santa Maria Valley Kiwanis to the class Valedictorian. This is the recruit with the highest overall score in the 5 subject matters, such as firearms, scenarios, academics, physical fitness training, and report writing. The check from the Kiwanis and the award for Class 119 goes to Deputy William Peters, Santa Barbara Sheriff's Office. I invite him to come up and give a short speech. And honking is allowed. There's your nice plaque. You can start your hero wall. And here's for your check.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll hold that until later on today.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
All right, enough beeping over there. Good morning and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. First off, it is an honor to stand up here and speak before all of you, the staff, and Class 119. A wise man, Mr. Ken George, once told us, the end depends upon the beginning. So let us take it back to the beginning. Get your weird little bodies into the form of attention. These are the very first words we heard as we stood awkwardly in front of this very flagpole. As we stood like a bunch of weirdos, our minds filled with anxiety and fear of the unknown. At that moment, Senior Officer Lenahan emerged from what seemed like thin air. We saw a man standing before us whose uniform was flawlessly pressed and ironed. He had a commanding voice, which the sound alone would strike fear for the months to come, and a look that could kill. From that very first sentence, he demanded and demonstrated the core values of this academy: duty, discipline, compassion, courage, honor, and integrity. Over the course of the next 5 months, these values would be instilled in each recruit through a variety of painful lessons. A lot of these lessons would come from a word that's not so frightening when first heard, but let me tell you about the word memo. A memorandum is an opportunity for a recruit to learn about the mistake he made. Still not so terrible, but each one of these memorandums is done with a line guide, with each letter perfectly drawn from line to line, without one letter having an overdrawn line or a gap. No extra spacings between letters or words. The entire page must be uniform. Each memo took around an hour to complete. Still not so bad, but imagine receiving 6 to 9 of these memos a night, averaging about an hour of sleep a night, and returning each and every day to resume the grind of the academy. The place where we would earn these memos is known as the grinder. This is the place we came to dread every Tuesday. We still don't know why it was every Tuesday. We would stand perfectly still at attention while TAC officers, almost like a small group of sharks, circled their prey. They would be yelling in the recruits' faces, which were not allowed to budge or, for that matter, blink. They would pick the smallest hair or string from the corner of your smallest pocket, resulting in running, push-ups, or memos. We could not wait to get inside the classroom to have the protection of Mrs. Martinez. As we began learning information about laws of arrest, search and seizure, and the penal code, which is a great read, by the way, recommend it to all of you, but it brought out a whole new element to the grinder known as recitation roundup. We would hear something like this: "Geesh! Recitation roundup!" And we would begin marching in circles as the TAC officers drilled us on the vehicle and penal codes we should have memorized. Let me tell you, it was rough. More memos and physical punishment ensued. These events would ensue for the upcoming months, and I don't know if any of you have seen The Karate Kid, but Senior Officer Lenahan is an example of a real-life Mr. Miyagi. There seemed to be no reason for this madness or his madness. However, almost overnight, it suddenly clicked. Our uniforms were sharper, our memos were clean, we could handle the stress of multiple TACs, and it all started to become clear. There was a reason to the madness. He had somehow taught us discipline, respect for ourselves and others, and the commitment to doing the right thing all the time and every time, without us even knowing. As Mr. Hundert stated, however much we stumble, it is a teacher's burden always to hope. that with learning, a boy's character might be changed, and so the destiny of a man. Once we began to see this change and began to understand the reasoning behind all the work and punishment, the academy became an enjoyable experience. It didn't get any easier, but we now had a purpose. He was not only making us into peace officers, but better men. And at that point, we all knew the man leading the way wouldn't let us fail. We developed many skills in arrest and control, firearms, emergency vehicle operations, but the most important ones we learned were on the grinder: command presence, discipline, and respect. However, the grinder wasn't all bad. There were many nicknames that were developed on the grinder. I'll throw out a few. Gonzalez is known as Millhouse. Geesh is Gish. Sasquatch, Maybelline, or Sally Saddle, they're all Mendoza. Sleepy is Martinez, and my gifted nickname was Mongo. The Academy has given us some of our worst days, OC, or for me, gas. But it has also given us many of our best days. It has created close bonds and friendships with many of the classmates that won't be broken. It is a grueling 5 months, and unfortunately, not everyone could make it. Some not even past the first day. We started with 23, and we finished with 15. And for the ones that did make it, we made it because we shared a few common traits: teamwork, dedication, a desire to serve the community, and an unbreakable passion for the law enforcement. To the Academy staff, Class 119 would like to thank all of you for everything. The time, dedication, commitment, and knowledge they've bestowed upon us. We will remember each and every one of you as we begin our journey into law enforcement, maintaining all of our core values. To the family, friends, and loved ones who have stayed strong and faithful through this whole process, every recruit has needed your unconditional love and support, and you have given those things day in and day out. Thank you for picking our heads up when they started to hang. Thank you for dealing with our stress and emotion, and thank you all for the faith and belief that we could accomplish the goal we set out to achieve. Mr. Hunter also said, "Great ambition and conquest without contribution is without significance." What will your contribution be, and how will history remember you? Class 119 is here, graduating like the many classes before us, and we are all ready to make our contribution to our communities. With faith and honor held high, we are prepared to conquer the next step of our careers and committed to protecting our loved ones and the members of our communities. Class 119, our beginning is our end, in front of the same flagpole where it all began. Prepared and dedicated men and women now ready to accept the challenges ahead. If COVID couldn't stop us, then nothing can. Hoorah!
Okay, we got, I think, 11 more awards to present. Rather than go through the description, that information is in the program. So I'm just going to announce the award, and then I'm going to announce the recipient. So Ms. Martinez will help me. The Leadership Award for Class 119, Deputy Ivan Sanchez, Santa Barbara Sheriff's Office. And the Sheriff or Chief's welcome to come up for the picture. The Academic Achievement Award, that's for all the academic testing, goes to Officer Bradley Pullen, Pismo Beach Police Department. Our next award is the Lee Horn Award, given by the San Luis Obispo Police Officers Association. This is for the most improved recruit, and for Class 119, Officer Scott Gaddis, Lompoc Police Department. Our next award is the Leo Ortega Memorial Award given by the Santa Barbara County Deputy Sheriff's Association. This is also known as the Most Inspirational Recruit. Class 119, Deputy Lisbeth Hernandez, Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office. And honking is permissible. Our next award is for firearms. This is given by the Doug Odom Foundation and also for this class, the San Luis Obispo County Deputy Sheriff's Association. The recipient will receive a check from the foundation and also a Glock 26 firearm, which he'll pick up at the gun shop in Los Osos. Recruit Brent Farmer, Independent.
Sorry, that's my job.
All right, our next award is the International Footprinter Association Award. The Footprinters have been actually great sponsors of our program for years and years. And for the class 119, the recipient is Officer Jacob Black, Rio Grande Police Department. All right, the next award is for the Report Writing Award, which is given by the Santa Barbara County District Attorney's Office. The award will also include a set of cross pins. Class 119, Deputy William Peters, Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office. I realize I skipped one. It's the Physical Fitness Award given by the Santa Maria Police Officers Association. They should have stayed up there. Deputy William Peters, Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office. The next award is for the Scenario Award. Each recruit had to complete 14 different scenarios, which they realize is pretty challenging. And for Class 119, the recipient for the Scenario Award presented by the Rio Grande Police Department is Deputy Trevor Garcia, Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office. And our next award is the Emergency Vehicle Operations Safe Driver Award given by Sunset Auto Center here in Lompoc. And the recipient for 119 happens to be a Lompoc officer, Officer Rudy Mendoza, Lompoc Police Department. And our final award is for ARCON, or Arrest and Control, and the award is given by the Academy ARCON instructors for Class 119. Deputy Nick Jones, San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's Office. Okay, now it's the moment we've been waiting for, the awarding of the certificates for Class 119. Class Sergeant, prepare the class.
Class 119, attention!
Our first graduates for 119 are independent recruits. Dr. Walters will present on behalf of Allen Hancock College. Waleed El Said. Brent Farmer. Our next recruit for 119 was sponsored by the Arroyo Grande Police Department. Chief Pryor will present. Jacob Black. Our next recruit for Class 119, sponsored by the Grover Beach Police Department, Chief Peters will present. Randy Gonzalez. Our next graduates for 119, sponsored by the Lompoc Police Department, Chief Mariani will present. Scott Gaddis. Rudy Mendoza. Our next graduate for 119, sponsored by the Pismo Beach Police Department, Chief Miller will present. Bradley Pullen. Our next graduates for 119, sponsored by the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Brown will present. Trevor Garcia. Garrett Gish. Lisbeth Hernandez. Mario Martinez. William Peters. Ivan Sanchez. And our next graduates for Class 119, sponsored by the San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's Office, Under Sheriff Vogue will present their certificates. Nick Jones. Henry White.
Ready? See.
I would like to ask our Director, Dave Whittem, to step to the front. And Deputy Hernandez and Recruit El Cid would like to present the class plaque on behalf of Class 119. And now, I'd like Senior Officer Langenhenning will now lead the Class 119 in the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics and the oath.
No memo. Who saw that? Do you see that, Geesh?
I saw it.
You saw it. If you all please turn to your program at page 6 and refer to that. The Law Enforcement Code of Ethics was introduced by the International Association of Chiefs of Police. It was codified in California law as the official oath of the professional law enforcement officer. Please read along as Class 119 recites that verbatim.
Class 119, out it. Law Enforcement Code of Ethics. Ready? Begin.
As a law enforcement officer, my fundamental duty is to serve mankind, to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent against deception, the weak against oppression or intimidation, and the peaceful against violence or disorder, and to respect the constitutional rights of all men to liberty, equality, and justice. I will keep my private life unsullied as an example to all, maintain courageous calm in the face of danger, scorn, or ridicule, develop self-restraint, and be constantly mindful of the welfare of others. Honest in thought and deed in both my personal and official life, I will be exemplary in obeying the laws of the land and the regulations of my department. Whatever I see or hear of a confidential nature, or that is confided to me in my official capacity, will be kept ever secret unless revelation is necessary in the performance of my duties. I will never act officiously or permit personal feelings, prejudices, animosities, or friendships to influence my decisions. With no compromise for crime, with relentless prosecution of criminals, I will enforce the law courteously and appropriately, without fear or favor, malice or ill will, never employing unnecessary force or violence, and never accepting gratuities. I recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of public faith, and I accept it as a public trust to be held so long as I am true to the ethics of the police service. I will constantly strive to achieve these objectives and ideals, dedicating myself before God to my chosen profession, law enforcement. Hoorah!
Class 119, praise it out. Do you solemnly swear to live by, practice, and obey these Law Enforcement Code of Ethics?
I do.
Order. Arms. Class Sergeant. Post. Class Sergeant, for the final time, dismiss Class 119.
Class 119, for the final time, dismiss! COVID-19 can't stop 119, hoorah!